Benchmark, the voice of business. Presented by LMD.
On this edition of Benchmark, we are joined in the studio by Noriko Gunji, the President and CEO of Canon Singapore, as we discuss the imaging industry. Then, LMD columnist Hasta Premaratna provides an overview of the Colombo Stock Exchange and investor sentiment. And in our final segment, the country manager of Kanta TNS, Mihirana Disanayaka, details the findings of Kanta TNS's survey on Sri Lanka's tourism prospects. That's the lineup for Benchmark.
Hello and welcome to Benchmark. I'm Savitri Rodrigo. Today in our studios, we're going to be discussing the imaging industry, and to do just that and give her expert opinions on the industry is our industry veteran Noriko Gunji. Noriko is the President and CEO of Canon Singapore, the regional headquarters for Canon in South and Southeast Asia. Noriko, welcome. Glad to have you on our show, and welcome also to Sri Lanka.
Thank you.
Just to start off, just tell me, what do you think of the imaging industry overall?
Oh yes, globally, according to the penetration of the smartphone, the total number of digital camera quantity has been decreasing. But from the development of culture of photography point of view, smartphone is definitely contributing to expand the more how to say anyway, cultivating the culture of photography in the world. Everybody can take a photograph at any time and anywhere. So I think that nowadays in order to penetrate, because of the penetration of smartphone, we can really more easily enjoy your photographic life.
Right, now just taking off from that, camera sales seem to have decreased, but at the same time there's a growth in sales in both action cams and smartphones. So if you're looking at the imaging industry and the performance, what you're saying is that the digital and smart technology hasn't made that much of an impact on your business, on the imaging industry?
As a total of Canon, we have a lot of kind of products, not only camera, but also some other office equipment and industrial equipment. So as a total of Canon, we are still growing very healthy paces. And in Asia, even in the photographic, imaging industry, I believe we still have a big potential to expand our business. Actually, in some of the Asian countries, we have been growing the business, even in the cameras. So that depends on the country or market situation. A little bit different, but as a total, Canon has been keeping the very healthy, very positive growth.
Now, imaging is a key technology that is found in various industries, whether it's automotive, science, medical, or even security. Now, if that is the case, Noriko, what is the impact of the imaging industry that the imaging industry has on business in general?
It is a very core technology, I can say. As you may know, Canon was founded as a small camera manufacturer in Japan, and we have optical technology as our core competence to develop or cultivate or increase our industrial field. So imaging technology is very, very important for us to expand the other field like, as you say, surveillance cameras and medical equipment.
Now, Brandwatch calculates that something like 350 million photos are shared on Facebook, 95 million on Instagram, 400 million on Snapchat, and 1.6 million on WhatsApp on sort of every day. If that's the case, how are photo sharing sites, for instance, impacting the imaging industry's landscape?
I think the most of the people are nowadays to take a photo to share their experience or their story to the other people, like friends or families. So from this point of view, as such a social media, social network, SNS, has been contributing a lot. It's because of that kind of technology and social network, a lot of people can easily share their experience and story to the other people, right? So the purpose of taking a photograph is how to say, to not only to record that story, but also to share your happiness with your friends and families. So I think as a total overall, social media is also contributed to the culture of photography like us.
So we'll get back to our interview just after a break, Ms. Gunji. We pause for some messages now from our sponsors, and later in the program, Noriko Gunji expands on the key concerns for the imaging industry from a commercial and a retail perspective, and also how the industry is responding to environmental concerns. Stay with us.
When we entered the industry in 1995, a new star was born as a fully owned subsidiary of People's Bank. For those seeking to grow their businesses, PLC provided the seed. We are not only Sri Lanka's #1 leasing company, but also the largest non-banking financial institution. Welcome to a new dawn for the nation. Introducing People's Leasing and Finance, PLC.
LMD is making waves, airwaves. The next big thing from Sri Lanka's pioneering business journal, LMD Podcast, now online. Listen to our articles on the go at www.lmd.lk. Select, play, listen. It's that simple.
We understand that savings provide for life's special moments. That's why we were the first bank to introduce an incentivized savings scheme, Pathum Vimana. We changed how a nation felt about savings because we believe in banking beyond transactions. HNB, your partner in progress.
Today we are discussing on Benchmark the imaging industry, and hot on that topic is the President and CEO of Canon Singapore, Noriko Gunji. Ms. Gunji, if we are looking at the imaging industry overall from a commercial and retail perspective, what are the key challenges and the concerns that come up?
Nowadays, a lot of people can easily get a lot of information online, but I believe still the actual real experience is also very important. So from this kind of point of view, also we take more importance on the actual real shop to provide our experience or some advantage of the products. We recently opened a very good concept store in Sri Lanka called Canon Image Squares. we at that place, we are providing not only product but also a lot of activity and experience of the product to the users.
So how is the industry responding at large to environmental concerns?
Yeah, environmental friendly is a very, very key topic for all of the company, I think. In Canon also, we have been taking a very big importance on the eco-friendly concept. So from the stage of development of products, we are very caring, concerning about this point of view. And also, we have been doing our big effort to on the recycling of consumable. Last year in Japan, Canon was awarded as the best environment friendly company. So it proves our long-term effort. I believe our company should consider always consider about three parties benefit, which is customer, and one is of course customer, one is of course the community, which means society, and for company, stakeholders. So everybody should make the effort to contribute to the society. That is my idea. So all of the company are now very focused on environment friendly, I think.
What are those the key markets and demographics when it comes to growth in the imaging industry?
Yes, from the camera point of view, in Asia, we are now very focusing on the younger generation and ladies market. In the past, especially high-end digital SLR cameras are used by mainly by men and like semi-professional people in the past. But nowadays, a lot of ladies are very familiar with taking a photo because of smartphone, and we are now pushing or promoting a lot of kind of activities for ladies, especially for young ladies.
So let's look at the Asian region, the region you're familiar with. What is the growth outlook? What is the outlook for the Asian region when it comes to the imaging industry?
Yes, definitely will be growing. That is our belief. Actually, in some of the countries, we are still growing the number of cameras indeed. So Asia is definitely a big generator for Canon business, not only for cameras, but also the other office equipment and industrial equipment also now have been growing. And I believe we will be keep on growing in the future.
So thank you very much, Ms. Gunji. It's been lovely talking to you.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
We've been discussing the imaging industry with President and CEO of Canon Singapore, Noriko Gunji. On the other side, we have Anushan Selvaraja with more, so do stay with us.
Sri Lanka's #1 leasing company is now the nation's largest and highest rated finance company with 2 international ratings. Let us move the nation as one with People's Leasing and Finance PLC.
LMD is making waves, airwaves. The next big thing from Sri Lanka's pioneering business journal, LMD Podcast, now online. Listen to our articles on the go at www.lmd.lk. Select, play, listen. It's that simple.
Nearly 60% of all businesses in our country are SMEs. Some of our most growth-oriented financial solutions have been customized to serve this sector. That's why we have invested over 500 billion rupees to support the backbone of our economy. Because we believe in banking beyond transactions. HNB, your partner in progress.
Welcome back to the show. I'm Anushan Selvaraja. Now for a closer look at the latest on the bourse, joining me is market analyst and LMD economist Hasita Premratna. Welcome back, Hasita. Now, we've just got the GSP Plus concession again. Now, what are the implications of this on our market?
So I think after a long wait, finally the concessions have arrived in the formal documentation has been completed. So the country now can export to Europe without duty, which is a very positive note from an export development point of view. So I think overall, if you look at from the economy perspective, this is a very important dynamic because Sri Lanka's exports have been hovering around $10 billion for about last 4 years on average, where we haven't seen any growth. And obviously the GSP Plus removal in 2010-11 was one of the contributors towards that. So hopefully the duty concessions coming back should help, because if you look at the global dynamics and the economics, naturally no duty benefits means you're having trouble in terms of pushing your self up when it comes to the export growth. So I think the immediate reaction was very positive, and obviously the next thing would be for the industry, particularly apparel will benefit immediately because apparel has a good base set already, so it's only a matter of launching into the next level. But there are certain other industries like fisheries where we've had some good progress up to 2010-11, and then most of it had gone out of the country, so they need to regain, and that will take about 6-7 months to get the basics right. And some of the other industries also, which on the manufacturing side should seriously look at diversifying their exports further and getting into new lines and look at export and making use of this. So overall, from a market perspective, it's a positive sentiment that has come in due to the GSP Plus concessions, and I'm sure that the market players, especially the listed companies who are having export background, should make use of this to take the export dynamics as well as their profitability into better heights.
So we've had a cabinet reshuffle recently, and taking the case of the change in the finance ministry itself, what does the investor community feel about this? How do professionals feel about this change?
Yeah, first of all, I think the cabinet reshuffle was a limited reshuffle. It's not really a reshuffle. It's a kind of a exchange of few portfolios. So one message it has given to the market is that performance and other areas are being considered in the context of how things need to go forward. But having said that, I don't see a major shift in the equation, because it's within the party and within the UNP's economic framework that the finance ministry's direction will be continued. So it's the government vision, which was led by the UNP-based economic committee under the Prime Minister, which will actually drive force. So in that context, I would not see major shifts in policy, but I don't think that we could probably expect is that with the new finance minister coming in, the communication and the type of the acceptance, at least in the wider community, may not necessarily be in the business community, but even in the wider community may have a better footing, because the ability to take the message forward in terms of what the intent of certain proposals in budgets, etc., and how it relates to the masses might have a better connectivity and a view, which probably would be good for the government progress.
Now, despite developments on the global front, foreign investors still show a lot of interest in our bourse. So what are your views on this?
Yeah, I think the level of foreign interest in the last 2 months into the Colombo bourse has been better than ever before, which is record breaking and very encouraging. But having said that, I think if you look at the ground situation, everybody is talking about negativity and what's not, about things that are not happening. But while that happens, the foreigners are seeing what's the potential and they're coming. So I think if you look at the big counters like John Keel's, Commercial Bank, CTC, and some of these counters where there have been strong foreign participation, also there's fundamentals that are very sound and strong, and some of the other stocks also have seen very strong foreign participation coming in. So I think it's important for the local institutional investors, especially the state investors, state government, state institutional investors, as well as even from a retail perspective, to take a close eye of what that direction is, because foreign interest is coming not because of anything else, but because they see value in the market and value in the economy and the long-term fundamentals of the country. Of course, partially you will see there are better allocations from certain funds towards Sri Lanka and to the wider community at large, but broadly I would say that this will be somewhat a good base that will be created, because foreigners generally, when they buy, they create a base and keep accumulating at that base. They don't just jump and buy at high price levels. So that might set another base at these levels that we are talking about at 6,600, 6,700 levels, which earlier the market stood at about 6,000 levels. So I think with the base going up by about 500, 600 points, probably you might see the retailers coming into the market at in the next few months with some better positive momentum created with various other big projects that have been spoken about.
What are the market trends that we are likely to see in the near term?
Yeah, I think definitely the base being created at 6,500 level will give a good platform, because a lot of foreigners will start accumulating at those levels, and then from there what you would see now is the retailers probably when they enter the market they'll start taking the index up further and the prices up, and with that obviously there will be volatility created, because when the retailers whenever retailers get into the market, you see generally volatility being created. So you will see some spikes, you will see the market going up, also you will see this market just also going to correcting itself. So what I would see is that the base of the market being kind of re-corrected from re-rated from about 6,000 levels to about 6,400, 6,500 levels. Beyond that there will be volatility, of course, with the overall trend I think for the rest of the year look to be positive.
Thank you for joining us, Hasda.
Thank you.
That was market analyst and LMD economist Hasda Premaratna. We'll be right back after a short commercial break. Stay tuned.
When we entered the industry in 1995, a new star was born as a fully owned subsidiary of People's Bank. For those seeking to grow their businesses, PLC provided the seed. We are not only Sri Lanka's #1 leasing company, but also the largest non-banking financial institution. Welcome to a new dawn for the nation. Introducing People's Leasing and Finance, PLC.
LMD is making waves, airwaves. The next big thing from Sri Lanka's pioneering business journal, LMD Podcast, now online. Listen to our articles on the go at www.lmd.lk. Select, play, listen. It's that simple.
Sri Lanka's #1 leasing company is now the nation's largest and highest rated finance company with 2 international ratings. Let us move the nation as one with People's Leasing and Finance PLC.
Gami Pubudua, our microfinance offering, makes it possible for the youth of this country who have a viable business plan but lack the funds to realize their dreams. We are committed to grassroots level entrepreneur development because we believe in banking beyond transactions. HNB, your partner in progress.
Welcome back to the show. I'm Anushan Selvaraja. Now for a closer look at the latest on the LMD Kanta TNS survey. Joining me is the country manager of Kanta TNS, Mihirani Disanaika. Welcome back to the show, Mihirani. Now, as usual, just give us a brief overview of the survey.
Okay, Anushan. This month the topic was about tourism industry, and with the stories that we are hearing after the war period and all that, it's a very positive stories that we hear, and it's a key part of the economy of the country as well. So with this month we wanted to see how people view the industry and the growth and the potential growth capabilities that the country has.
So how do respondents view our tourism industry?
Actually, overwhelming percentage, like 80% plus people believe that the industry is booming and has great potential also. The main reason being the peaceful environment created in the country is attributed to this positive view.
Where do they stand in terms of the quality that our hotels have to offer?
Right. So the facilities provided by hotels is the significant factor for the industry, and Sri Lankan mass understand that facilities given by hotels in Colombo is great, and great facilities is given and taken care of the tourism industry and supporting the industry. However, there's no great positive view about the facilities given by the hotels in outstation areas in the country.
According to the respondents, Mihirani, do the hotels offer good value for money?
Actually, yes. Majority believe that yes, we give great value to our tourists and by the hotels. However, certain cases happen in the country, exploiting the tourists and robbing them is a topic that they are talking about. But all in all, the value that they are providing is great.
What do they say the state should do to assist local businesses?
They are picking up on these facilities given by hotels as a key factor. So increase these facilities and give value for money for tourists as two suggestions, major suggestions that they are suggesting. However, the infrastructure of the country, having highways and all that also come in as great suggestions to improve the industry.
Thank you very much for joining us, Mihirani.
Thank you, Anusha.
That was the country manager of Kanta TNS, Mihirani Dissanayake. Thank you for watching Benchmark, and we hope to see you again next time.